Imagine working the fields your whole life. Sunrise to sunset, sweat on your brow, calloused hands. You save every penny you can, you invest faithfully, and you trust the promise of compounding. Because everyone said your money will work for you. But when retirement finally comes, you look at your account, and it feels like your money never showed up to work at all. This is the brutal truth about compounding. It feels impossible for most people. Not because they're lazy, not because they're foolish, but because no one ever taught them the 9-4-2 rule. And once you understand it, compounding stops being a cruel joke and starts being the wealth engine it was meant to be. This is Henry's story. A farmer from the Midwest, 65 years old. For decades, he split his time between working the land and faithfully investing $200 a month. He thought that would guarantee him a comfortable retirement. He skipped luxuries, never traveled, and trusted compounding to do the heavy lifting. But when he finally checked his account, the balance wasn't enough to retire. His heart sank. He hadn't failed. He'd done everything the books told him. But the truth was, compounding had punished his small contributions and long patience. Henry wasn't foolish. He was missing the framework. Because compounding isn't magic, it's momentum. And without this rule, Henry's dream of rest turned into more years of work. So if you've ever wondered why compounding feels impossible, or feared you'll end up like Henry, working long after you plan to stop, this video is for you. Today we're breaking down exactly how the 9-4-2 rule kicks in and why it changes everything. If you're ready to stop hoping and start building, subscribe right now, and let's get started. Let's kick things off with a question that frustrates a lot of people. Why does compounding feel impossible, even when you do everything right? Compounding looks beautiful in theory. The charts rise like rockets, the math multiplies, and you're told to just be patient. But when you live it in real life, it feels like betrayal. For years, Henry invested consistently. After a decade of sacrifice, he expected liftoff, but the numbers barely moved. Why? Because the early years of compounding are like the countdown before a rocket launch. There's activity, there's fuel loading, there's preparation, but nothing moves. From the outside, it looks like nothing is happening. And that's the trick compounding plays on us. It hides its power in the early years, almost daring us to quit. The balance creeps forward, not leaps. And human psychology hates that. We want instant results. We want progress we can feel. So when compounding delays gratification, people bail out. That's why so many never make it. They quit during the invisible years, the years before the breakthrough. They walk away before ignition. Henry lived this reality. He stayed disciplined, but without the right framework to guide his patience, his investments felt like dead weight. The truth? Compounding isn't impossible. It just needs structure. And that begins with the first number in the 9-4-2 rule. Let's talk about the 9, the breakthrough year when the rocket finally leaves the ground. The first number in this rule is 9. 9 years of commitment. Why 9? Because 9 is the threshold where compounding finally shifts from invisible to undeniable. Think of a rocket launch. For minutes after ignition, all the fuel seems to be wasted. The rocket strains against gravity, crawling upward while millions of dollars of fuel burn away. But then, breakthrough. The 9th minute of flight is when the rocket hits the edge of the atmosphere. Suddenly, resistance falls, momentum takes over, and the rocket soars. Compounding works the same way. In the first few years, it feels like gravity wins. Your balance grows slowly, and you question whether it's worth it. But if you stay committed for 9 years, you cross the threshold. The growth curve bends, the momentum builds, and the game changes. Henry never saw this. He didn't know that 9 years is the minimum commitment for compounding to reveal itself. Instead, he judged too early. He thought the rocket was broken when it was just building momentum. The 9 is your promise to yourself. Stay long enough to see the breakthrough. Without it, compounding feels impossible. With it, you finally see liftoff. But patience isn't enough. A rocket needs more than time. It needs fuel. That's where the 4 comes in. The second number in the 9-4-2 rule is 4. 4 levers of momentum. These aren't magic tricks. They're the forces that accelerate compounding from crawl to cruise. The first lever is contribution scaling. You can't just save the same $200 forever. Increasing contributions, even slightly, adds massive thrust over time. The second lever is asset growth. Compounding isn't just about saving. It's about putting your money in vehicles that historically grow: index funds, dividend stocks, long-term real estate. The third lever is reinvestment. Every dividend, every payout must go back into the engine. Reinvestment is like recycling fuel. It multiplies your output without extra effort. And the fourth lever is cash flow streams. Income beyond your salary, from side hustles, rentals, or dividends, accelerates your snowball. This extra stream is the booster rocket your compounding needs. Henry missed these levers. He invested, but flat contributions, limited assets, and no reinvestment kept his rocket grounded. He had fuel, but not enough thrust. The 4 is your system of acceleration. Use all 4 levers and compounding stops dragging and starts flying. But a rocket isn't just about speed. It needs balance, offense, and defense. That's the power of the 2. The last number in the rule is 2. 2 streams of income. But it's not just more money. It's offense and defense. Your defensive stream is stable. Your salary, dividends, or bonds. It's predictable. It keeps your life steady and ensures you never panic when markets dip. Your offensive stream is dynamic: a side hustle, a business, rental income, or freelance work. It's less predictable, but it carries upside. It feeds compounding with bursts of energy, accelerating your growth. Together, these streams give balance. Defense keeps you calm. Offense keeps you ambitious. Without both, compounding stalls. And here's where tools matter. That's why we are creating the Trip2 Wealth Command Center, a simple Google Sheet system that tracks your income, cash flow, spending, and net worth in one place. It's not just a tracker, it's a strategy hub. It shows you where your defense is solid, where your offense is growing, and how both streams feed your compounding engine over time. You'll find the early access waitlist of the tool linked below. Get in early, support the launch, and lock in your exclusive discount. Remember, Henry only had defense. His salary was steady, but without offense, his growth never accelerated. 2 streams are the difference between standing still and breaking free. But even with structure, traps can sabotage your rocket. Let's look at them. Every rocket launch has risks. One wrong move, and the mission fails. Compounding is no different. The first trap is impatience, quitting before the breakthrough year. That's like shutting down engines at minute 3 of launch. The rocket never leaves the pad. The second is comparison, looking at someone else's quick gains and abandoning your flight plan. That's like chasing every flashing light in the sky. You'll burn out before you ever reach orbit. The third is panic. Market dip? You pull out. That's like ejecting mid-launch. You don't save yourself, you destroy the mission. Then there are the silent traps: high fees, taxes, and debt. Each one is like a hole in your fuel tank, bleeding momentum you never notice until it's too late. Henry faced these traps. He didn't panic, but fees and flat contributions ate his progress. He thought patience alone was enough. It wasn't. The 9-4-2 rule protects you. 9 years keep you steady. 4 momentum levers push you forward. 2 streams fuel the engine. Follow the structure, and the traps lose their power. So how do you actually apply this in your life? Let's break it down step by step. Here's how to launch your own compounding rocket. Step 1. Commit to 9 years. Mark the calendar. Write it down. Promise yourself you won't judge results until then. Step 2. Activate the 4 momentum levers. Increase contributions annually, invest in growth assets, reinvest dividends, and build cash flow streams. Each lever adds thrust. Step 3. Secure 2 streams of income, one defensive, one offensive. The defensive stream keeps you grounded, the offensive stream gives you lift. Step 4. Track everything. In order to see your progress, measure your levers and hold yourself accountable. Compounding isn't about waiting blindly. It's about fueling your rocket with structure and momentum. Do this, and the 9th year won't feel like magic. It'll feel inevitable. And when you do, here's what the payoff looks like. For Henry, the dream slipped away. He worked hard, saved diligently, and trusted the promise of compounding. But without the right structure, his retirement plan never ignited. His story is painful, but it doesn't have to be yours. The rule exists to make sure your money actually delivers. 9 years of commitment carry you through the invisible stretch into the breakthrough curve. They force you to survive the countdown, to endure the gravity until you finally feel the rocket lift. The 4 momentum levers, contribution scaling, asset growth, reinvestment, and cash flow streams, accelerate your trajectory. Instead of crawling toward your goals, you build thrust that compounds on itself. And the 2 streams, offense and defense, keep you balanced. No single crisis, no market drop, no economic shock can knock you out of orbit. But the true payoff isn't just numbers on a screen. It's freedom. Freedom to decide whether you keep working or not. Freedom to look at your balance at night and know it's growing while you sleep. Freedom to buy back your time, to choose experiences, to protect your family, and to leave a legacy. And then there's the mental shift. You stop doubting compounding. You stop asking if it really works. You stop fearing that you'll end up like Henry, exhausted at 65 with too little to show for decades of discipline. Instead, you trust the process. You see your rocket fueled, balanced, and already breaking gravity. Confidence replaces fear. Momentum replaces hesitation. This is the real magic of the 9-4-2 rule. It takes compounding out of the realm of hope and into the realm of certainty. It proves that compounding isn't impossible. It just needed the right countdown, the right levers, and the right streams. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far and want more topics like this, comment the word "more" down below. Now let's pull it all together and recap what we've learned. Compounding feels impossible because most people quit during the invisible years. They never stick around long enough to reach ignition. They spend their lives loading fuel, only to shut down the engines right before liftoff. But these rules change everything. 9 years of commitment carry you through the hardest stretch. It's the promise that you won't judge your results too early, that you'll give compounding enough time to bend the curve upward. Those 9 years are your breakthrough runway. 4 momentum levers accelerate your growth. Scaling contributions is your booster engine. Every small increase compounds massively over time. Asset growth is your thrust, the natural upward pull of productive investments. Reinvestment is your recycling system. Dividends and payouts put back into the engine to multiply without extra effort. And cash flow streams are your turbocharger, additional income that pushes you higher and faster. Together, these 4 levers transform patience into momentum. 2 streams of income keep you balanced. Defense gives you stability, offense gives you acceleration. With both, no single setback can destroy your plan. You have redundancy, resilience, and confidence that your rocket can withstand turbulence. This isn't theory, it's a launch sequence. When you follow it, compounding stops crawling. It starts flying. It becomes a force multiplier, not a frustration. And remember, Henry, he wasn't lazy. He wasn't foolish. He just lacked the framework. He invested without this rule, and his rocket never left the ground. Don't make the same mistake. Trust the countdown. Pull the levers. Fuel both streams. Stick with the process, and watch compounding finally take off. So now you know why compounding feels impossible, and how the 9-4-2 rule flips the script. It's not about waiting endlessly. It's about giving compounding the runway, the fuel, and the balance it needs to launch. 9 years, 4 momentum levers, 2 streams of income. That's the formula. If you're serious about building wealth, start applying this today. Don't just watch, commit, fuel, and track your progress. Remember, this video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice. It is important to conduct thorough research and consult with financial professionals before making any investment decisions. The value of investments can fluctuate, and past performance is not indicative of future results. Always assess your risk tolerance and investment goals before allocating your capital. And if you found value today, I highly recommend watching my next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to leave your comment below. I appreciate your support. Until next time, stay consistent, stay patient, and stay winning. See you in the next one, Money Magician.